Alright people, Citadel here again and welcome back to another Mass Effect Legendary Edition Insanity Run video. Today we're heading back to the Citadel and it's going to be under attack by Cerberus. We've just finished priority to Chunka and we got a message to come back to the Citadel or whatever, and yeah, Udina has tried to overthrow the council. He's been indoctrinated by Cerberus or whatever. So yeah, we're coming back and we're going to try to kick them off the station. Again, I'm going to be using Garrus and Liara. Hopefully this mission isn't too bad, though the phantom enemies that Cerberus start deploying in this mission, I think, they can be pretty tricky. They have the sniper rifle. Is it the phantoms that are the sniper Cerberus enemies? Or is that something else? Oh well, there's one of those enemies that's pretty deadly. They can sort of one-shot you if I remember correctly. And also we've got these combat engineers again that set up the turrets. They're probably my most hated enemy actually, the combat engineer. Just because they themselves aren't really that powerful and it's just the turret that they set down is really annoying. It's a bit of a bullet sponge, and they can come along and repair that once you've nearly destroyed it if you get pinned down or whatever, and then you have to waste a lot more ammo destroying the turret again even though you were so close to already destroying it. Just a really annoying enemy. They're not as deadly as something like the Banshee, which is probably the enemy I'm most scared of, because the Banshee's so overpowered and can just teleport right next to you. But in terms of enemies that just whenever I see them I'm just like, oh, not one of those guys, it is probably the combat engineer. I think that's everybody in here. Is there anything they pick up around here? No. Oh, there's a few alive over there, I guess. Okay, we just sort of destroyed that guy. I've got to go over here and speak to Bailey, who's been wounded.
Shepard, I saw those Cerberus troops on you. I thought you were done for. Bailey, what are you doing here?
I think the first time I played this, I actually thought maybe Bailey was going to be a spy or something. Just because how it's kind of convenient that he's the only CSEC officer that survived. He has been shot or whatever, but I think he could have told anybody who was in Cerberus that if he was a spy, they would know to sort of wound him, so it's only like a flesh wound or whatever. And he could easily convince Shepard that he was injured in the attack or whatever. I don't know, that could have been an interesting route to go. Udina, you never really liked Udina at any point. He's always very hateable. But I never actually thought he would actually betray the council or whatever. He doesn't like them. He is all about humanity. But you sort of got the sense that he had a good handle on things, and that he wouldn't really be the type to support Cerberus either. I mean, he is humanity first, and he just tolerates aliens. But I don't think he would actually join or team up with an organization like Cerberus, who like killed so many Alliance Marines and stuff in their experiments. So it was kind of hard to go along with that plot point. Although I guess you could say he's at this point, Udina's completely desperate for something to be done about Earth, and that he thinks Cerberus is gonna be able to help him. I guess you could say he was wore down like that. I think there's a conversation where you can learn about Udina's family. I think maybe they're trapped on Earth or something, so I guess if you look at it that way, maybe he would be convinced to help out Cerberus or whatever. But I think they chose him to be the spy because they know everybody hates him anyway, and there's not really much of a gut punch to be had from him turning out to be a spy. But I think it would have been more effective if it was someone like Bailey, someone you... Well, I don't know actually if people like Bailey or if they just think he's just or if they even bother to think about Bailey much at all. But I always quite like Bailey. His voice actor was Saul in Battlestar Galactica, I think. I always liked that voice actor. I liked him in Battlestar Galactica. I thought he was great. So I was kind of fond of Bailey, and if it turned out he was the spy, I think it would have hit a bit harder, because it's someone you wouldn't want to have to shoot. Whereas Udina, he's just like, oh, he's a traitor, well, I don't care, I'll just shoot him instantly. It's one of the renegade options that I never skip, is just shooting Udina, because it's like, we've butted heads with him so many times, and he's always made life difficult for Shepard. Don't know what's up with this combat engineer, he sort of glitched out. Oh well, at least he won't be putting up a turret. Ah, what happened there? Okay. Shouldn't have ran in. But we'll get him with this to put our shields back up. Nice. Biotic charge is always quite useful for that. Just if your health's really getting pretty low and your shields are down and you need to recharge it instantly. It is good to just hit people with biotic charge. Although, as we saw in a previous video, sometimes biotic charge just doesn't want to work even if you've selected an enemy, and it can get you killed if you're trying to rely on it. But when it works, it does work really well. Okay, so we're activating the elevator, picking up some random stuff in here. Sniper rifle barrel, I'll give that to Garsh, that'll help him do even more damage. He's pretty OP at this point, I think, Garsh. But again, it doesn't mean we're going to have a really easy time with everything, because sometimes Garsh, he gets put down, or he won't fire at the enemy I need him to fire at. But when he's on form and he's doing what you want him to, Garsh just sort of destroys everybody. Pearson mod, and yeah, it's a lot of stuff. We won't bother reading all that stuff, but I'm just selecting it anyway, because I think you can get XP from reading stuff. I think they brought that back for Mass Effect 3. Like in Mass Effect 1, you used to get XP for doing everything, like speaking to people, asking questions, looking at every sort of hacking every computer you came across. And then Mass Effect 2, they sort of toned that down. You didn't get as much XP for stuff. You only got XP at the end of a mission with that mission over screen. I'm actually kind of glad that they removed the mission over screen. It sort of made everything feel sort of disconnected in a way. I don't know if when I was playing Mass Effect 2 if I talked about that at all. I might actually be contradicting myself. I might have said it was a good change when I was playing, but thinking back, I actually just like it when the game just goes from one mission to another with a nice transitional cutscene or something, instead of just everything stops and you get a mission over screen, because it just really hammers home and reminds you that you're playing a video game. When everything just flows together, I think it's more of an immersive experience. And it is an interesting choice they made for Mass Effect 2 to put in mission over screens. I'm probably going to have to look that up later, why they did that, or why that decision was made. Just I'm sort of interested why they did it. Okay, so in here we have, this is the Solarian Council member's office, is it? I think. Anyway, he sort of escaped for now, but everyone's favorite character, Kai Lang, he's looking for him. Yeah, he's down there hiding under the desk. He probably should have just stayed down there in a stealth camouflage, because it looks like he was alright, because Kai Lang's only just been able to find him now because he got up from under the desk. It's kind of convenient, but oh well. And thankfully I do have Thane in my Mass Effect 3 playthrough. Kept him alive in Mass Effect 2. So he's going to show up here and help us out, keep the Solarian Counselor alive. And because of that, we will be able to then get some of the Solarian fleet to join our war assets, which is nice because normally if you don't have the counselor alive and you don't have Thane there to save him, after you've cured the genophage, the Solarians won't cooperate with Shepard at all. And it's not a big loss, because if you have the Krogan and the Turians, you've really got enough numbers already to help you out with the war asset meter or whatever. But I sort of like having all the fleets from every race show up in some fashion. Sort of, it's how I like to headcanon things went down, that Shepard managed to get everyone to cooperate. And as long as you have Thane and you save the council in Mass Effect 1, then you will get the chance to have Thane show up here and save the counselor. Thane is a character which a lot of people don't like how he's treated in Mass Effect 3. Like most Mass Effect 2 characters, he's sort of sidelined. But with Thane, I sort of understand it more than other characters who sort of get pushed to the side, because he was sick in Mass Effect 2, and it makes sense that he would be even sicker in Mass Effect 3 and sort of not be able to participate in any of Shepard's missions or whatever. And I do think he plays he does have a good role to play here in rescuing the council.
Odina's trying to seize power. I've got to get to the councilors.
And he has a good final death scene in the hospital when you speak to him, and his son's there, and they do that little prayer thing, and then his son's like, it wasn't a prayer for him, it was a prayer for you, and it's like, hit me in the feels. It's a really good death scene, I think, for Thane. And then later, if you have the Mass Effect Citadel DLC, then there'll be another memorial service for Thane at your apartment at some point. So yeah, I think Thane has a good ending. I understand why people were sort of upset that he didn't get to come back to the Normandy or whatever, but I think it's understandable with, you know, his health condition and stuff. The ones I'm more upset about still are Jack and Miranda. I think I've spoke about that in other videos. Jack, after you rescue her at the Grissom Academy, and if you choose for her students to be support units instead of being on the front line, I think it would have been a good way to then convince Jack to come back onto the Normandy, because her students aren't going to be in danger. I thought that would have been a good way to get her back. And Miranda, she's sort of just running around looking for her father, just sort of pushed really into the background. I think she could really have searched for her father on the Normandy with Liara's Shadow Broker network, and anytime she had a mission to do, she could have asked Shepard to come speak to her and say, we've got to go to this planet because I have to do this thing over there. And I would have added a good few side missions for Miranda. But again, a lot of these complaints I'm having, I think it's again due to the time constraints that Mass Effect 3 was made under. 2 years for a game of this size and scope, it's just really not enough. So they definitely had to pick and choose what characters they were gonna bring back, and I think they were like, okay, Mass Effect 1 is the cast that we care about the most because they've been with Shepard from the beginning. I think we need to go back to them and get Liara and Garrus and everybody back on the ship, and Tali, of course. I haven't said that, Tali, you don't get her until like, I don't know, third of the way through the game, maybe. It's very late on, and I know people were disappointed by that as well. I wish you do the priority missions in any order. Like you go help the Quarians first and then go help Rex later, or something like that. That would have been a good fix for that problem of being upset about not getting Tali early. And then speaking of Rex as a Mass Effect 1 character who they really wanted to bring back, again I think it's a shame he didn't get to fight with Shepard in a few missions. He is on the Normandy for a while, and I think especially when you go to get Grunt and the Arlac company, I think it would have been okay if Rex just came down for that one mission, hung out with Grunt. Those two could have fought with Shepard together. But again, they didn't go that way. Okay, get that engineer before he plants a turret. I've got another Atlas here. I've accidentally told Garrison they already climb up onto that. Oh well, they're running out. Yeah, I got Liara killed, sorry. Actually, I was trying to get them to target the Atlas, but accidentally selected for them to run out there. Oh well, hopefully me and Garsh can take this thing down. Once we get its shields down, Garsh should hopefully just absolutely shred the armor. Nice, come on Garsh, shoot him now, Garsh, please. Yes, look at that Garsh, you're doing unreal damage. You've blew him up already. See, that's why you want Garsh. When he's on form, you can absolutely decimate the enemy. If he wasn't there, that Atlas would have been such a bullet sponge, I would have probably run out of ammo. Oops, my flare just went off into a random direction there. Nice. Okay, so this is really the last little bit of combat here. This mission was pretty simple. We didn't have to worry about too many things. The Atlas was probably the main worry from this mission, and Garsh, he sort of just wiped it out for us. But this is the last little combat section here on the elevator. Just have to wait for it to go up, and then some enemies come up on their own elevators and we can just take them out as they come up. I wish there was more sort of variety in missions like this, like go out on top of this elevator here. It's a nice little change up from all the shooting galleries you're in. Like it's a nice little change of pace to have to be able to take out all our elevators next to you or whatever. I think some level design, unique level design like that could have helped out some other missions. Okay, get that before the Phantom jumps over here. Nice. Yeah, so it seems the Phantom is the Cerberus enemy with a sword. There must be another enemy whose name I can't recall that has a sniper rifle. Pretty sure they're a Cerberus enemy and they can be pretty deadly. But I don't think we have to fight any of them now after this mission. Okay, is that the council elevator? No. That was just another enemy elevator. Thankfully with flare we can just take out the elevators pretty easily. Okay, we have to jump to this one. Nice.
What was that?
So yeah, Ashley's saving the council. But Udin is in there and he's obviously the traitor, so we've got to get in there and get rid of him. Don't think many people really would mind if the Turian counselor got killed, because he was like probably the biggest jerk to Shepard. Quite like Tavos, Counselor Tavos. She never really insulted Shepard. I always kind of liked how she was friendly with Arya as well. Like in that one scene where Arya's in the club on the Citadel, and someone's there trying to make her sign up to customs screenings or something, and Arya just contacts Tavos. It's like, could you take care of this? And then Tavos just like, yep, there you go. So I like that she knows who Arya is and has some sort of history with Arya, I'm guessing. She's just automatically let Arya onto the Citadel like that. So yeah, I'd keep Tavos alive. The Solarian was kind of annoying, but the Turian, I can't even remember his name, and I only remember Tavos' name. Actually, I don't know why I remember it though. I don't even know the Solarian counselor's name.
No.
But yeah, Udina is gonna pull a gun now. And instead of making Ashley shoot him, which I think is what happens if you don't take this renegade prompt, I'm just gonna go ahead and take him out. Also, he just attacked Tavos there. I mean, let's just put him down. He has a gun in his hand. He's clearly a traitor.
Get the council.
It's a very justified renegade option. A lot of times renegade is just sort of an edgelord option, like punching the reporter or whatever. But in a situation like that, it doesn't even feel like it should be a renegade option. It's self-defense, really.
Made it as fast as we could, Shepard. Looks like you.
So yeah, Billy showed up just in time, and Kai Lang and his little
You said Cerberus was targeting
squad
us.
have taken off.
Soldiers go.
Cerberus was
I don't know if actually there's a way to peacefully disarm Udina. Like if you don't take that renegade option, I'm pretty sure he ends up getting shot by Ashley in that case, or Caden,
Saved my life twice, Shepard.
depending.
I owe you both a personal debt, and one on behalf of
And there's the Turin, he sort of redeems himself there, and finally acknowledging how Shepard has saved him twice now.
Commander, do you have any idea why the elusive man would do this?
It's interesting that they just have Turin Counselor and Asari Counselor next to their subtitle name instead of their actual name.
All right, people. Principals are evacuated. We got.
But yeah, that's basically the end of that mission. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time with an Or and Sandy Run video. Hopefully we won't die in that either, because we've got a good record now of not dying for once.